We've almost finished recapping the entirety of the PGL Copenhagen Major, but today we're going to look at the MVP of the Major in the semifinals versus G2. Of course, I'm talking about Mr. JL, and I want to take a look at how he likes to play the B site on Ancient, as well as why I think JL might be the best rifler in the world right now, and we're going to look at that right after a quick word from SkinsMonkey. Today's video is sponsored by SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is a site where you could trade skins that you already have to get some skins that you might want. That way you can hop into your next game with some fresh new skins. All you have to do is log into the site through Steam, put in the skins that you don't want anymore, grab the skins that you do, and then click trade. Trades happen almost immediately, and any balance that you don't use in the trade will roll over for a trade that you might do in the future. Right now you can get a free $5 if you were to use code Austin on the site, and if you were to use my code you would get an additional 5% on top of the 30% deposit bonus. So let's say if you deposit $100, that means you would get $135 if you use my code to deposit. So make sure you guys check out SkinsMonkey, and let's get right back into the video. Now, you might think that I'm exaggerating when I say that I think that JL might be the best rifler in the world, but hopefully by the end of this demo, you will agree with me that there is a chance. And just before we get too far into this, people are going to say, but what about Donk, Austin? Well, Donk didn't just get Major MVP, and I do think that JL is a little bit more solid as a player. So we'll have a look. Of course, I'm not saying anything from Donk, but this is JL's demo review. So we're going to go ahead and skip past the pistol round as well as the following round because it's a full eco. And by the time we get into the meat and potatoes of this demo review, we're already 2-0, and it's the first gun round. Now, one of the things that JL likes to do is he likes to play very aggressive in pushing down the B ramp area, and he likes to take a lot of fights. Now, you'll see this as a very constant thing throughout the entirety of CT side, and it starts on this round. So he's going to start the round by coming here and dropping off this early nade. Now, why would he do that? It's pretty self-explanatory, but of course, if anybody were to come here and try to swing early for, I don't know, perhaps a pick, maybe they want to rush B, this nade's going to do quite a bit of damage. Generally, the reason he's doing this is just to dissuade any early aggression, so that way later in the game they can take some liberties perhaps. Now, it's important to note that off of this nade, he is going to peek, and of course that's because if anybody is coming up the ramp, they're going to be low, slow, and ready to go because JL is going to take them down. But also, he knows that this peak is somewhat safe because there's pretty much no chance that the other team has an op because the way the economy works, it's just not really possible. So that's why he's more comfortable taking this fight. Now, he's going to play a lot of off angles in towards this long area. So this is called long and this is called short for those of you guys that don't know. And he's basically going to start every round by going long. But after the initial nade plus jump spot plus peeking, he's going to end up crossing to this wall right here, this close left wall that he's at now. And the reason he wants to do this is because obviously he wants to contest ramp, as well as this is one of the safer spots on the site. You'll see a lot on Ancient that people are spamming through this wall like Hooksy's doing now. And of course, they'll do this both ways. This wall is incredibly spammable and it gets quite a few kills, even in pro level. You know, a lot of people die to the spam. So JL wants to avoid standing next to this wood, and this angle is very good. Of course, you can't get spam from there, as well as since he's closer to the ramp, he's actually way closer to going down. So if, let's say, Bit flashes him, he could easily just go for a quick peek. Bit could also smoke the door, which they will do this round, and then JL could walk down. They basically just want to be in G2's face. They're giving them no respect. Remember, this is the semifinals of a major, and of course, it's map 3. There is everything on the line right now, and so they can't really be in a position to give G2 the room that they want to work with. So they want to just really assert their dominance, and we're going to see that here. So of course the door gets smoked, like I said. JL is kind of contesting here. He's going to get caught because he's going to take down Nico, but he's caught in the open, like I said, and he will go down. So that's a pretty unfortunate way for the first gun round to go. Of course, there really isn't much else to say. Ema saves, and then we're on to the first eco after the gun round. Now, I say that this is normally a round that I would not say too much about, but this is actually the most impressive round of the entire major from JL, so let's just watch and enjoy. Now, there's not really a lot of things on half buys that there is to talk about, but one of the things that I will say for those of you guys who are watching these who try to learn as much as you can from these, or maybe, you know, they learn from just me teaching, when you buy on rounds like this, it's very, very important that you don't just mindlessly buy. So in pugs, or maybe even in your low-level teams, what you'll do is your IGL will say, yeah, let's save this round, get a couple pistols, whatever. But really what you should be doing is you should be making a plan, because you need to set up traps, you need to set up plays, because these pistols aren't going to be able to hold and execute, but they can get early openings. They can go for cheeky little plays, maybe a bait and switch, and that's how these rounds get out of hand. Get one kill, get an AK, and then things start to kind of... And of course, they did make a plan, and what is the plan? As you can see, JL is setting up a flash. Now let me reset the map here. Obviously, Ema makes the run boost. He's going to come peek. Alexi B is going to come from cave, and they're going to try to fight towards towards banana early in their round. That's what JL is going to flash right here. As you can see, flash goes over, Ema goes for the pick, and he doesn't see anything, and so things get a little bit stuck. But off of the back of this, they do have map control. Ema is low, but they do have full mid as well as this part of the map, what you would call this CAD, or the top of banana. Now obviously this is really good map control to have, especially on a half buy. If they go B, you're set up perfectly. If they want to go A, there's not anything stopping them from going A, but it's a pretty retakeable site. It's not the worst case in the world. That's the gamble we take. But if they come B, you're going to hold it. So with that being said, here comes in the hit. Obviously, JL is going to take a little bit of damage here. He finds the first 1D onto Monacy, of course, with the follow-up, as well as the third onto Nexa. Hooksy peeks in as well and wants some. JL has already found 3 in the round. And you will note that even though this is a highlight, and you've probably seen this one all over YouTube, Twitter, whatever, the thing that's important to note is that after he gets these 3 kills, even though he's definitely feeling himself and he wants to peak and get more, he knows that it's more important to win the round. Because even though JL has gotten 3, if he takes this fight onto Hooksy and he loses, it's still a 2v2, and to be honest, G2 would have the advantage in that case. So JL will obviously play to live. He gets the flash from his teammate, then he repeaks. That's the important detail there. He doesn't repeak until he gets the flash. Now JL, of course, he knows he wants to get this gun, and he needs to keep the pressure on. The bomb, of course, being down, he knows that Hooksy's probably alone, because otherwise they would probably be fighting right now. He's gonna grab the gun, and of course he's waiting for his teammate's cue, and then he's gonna start walking down ramp. The reason I say he probably knows Hooksy is alone is because if they were both here, they would try to power up the ramp together, because it's the only way they can win, because the rotations in theory are the farthest that they're going to be. JL is technically alone, so that's why they would go. But since Hooksy didn't go, it's very what would I say, telling, very telling that he is not with his teammate, because he's waiting for his teammate to group up with him before he goes. So they're going to apply some pressure. Like I said, it's a constant theme on the Na'Vi side to go down ramp, and of course JL will go down. Hunter gets the kill, and off the back of that, it's very unlikely that they're expecting that JL is snuck down. Technically, it's just unlucky for a G2. So he steps down, finds the first kill. Of course, Hunter, the clip is here, and JL gets all 5. And that's exactly the kind of stuff that you need, especially if you're on Na'Vi here. This is a round that they should not be winning. And of course, the best rifler in the world somehow brings you around. An ace out of absolutely nowhere. These are the things that we used to see Nico do back in the early days of CSGO, and now we're seeing Nico have it done to him by jLegend. What a fantastic round. Beautiful all the way around. And to be honest with you, the people who are very critical against G2 would say, oh, G2 are so bad. But what could they realistically have done any different to stop a highlight like that? They can't. Well, they could have killed him, sure, but they weren't out of position. JL is peeking a headshot angle against a B hit, finds the Deegs, and Nico tries to trade, he's low. Monacy gets 1 Deeg. What are you supposed to do? There's really nothing you can do. And even in the 2v3, Hunter's holding ramp. He finds Ema. He thinks that that's the push. It's just a unfortunate timing from G2. They're ready for it, but they missed it. And then JL gets the ace. That's what I'm trying to say. There's no mistakes made, so it's a very good highlight. Regardless, we're going on to the next round, and you'll see more of the same. JL throws his nades for Alexi B so that he can keep... Hold on, I think we've lost track of one of the mollies. I think Alexi B mollies bottom ramp for JL, and JL mollies cave. I'm not sure why they do it that way, but let's, keep an eye on that throughout the rest of the review. And of course, JL goes for the spam. Now, it's important to note that he's going for the spam because, of course, Wonderful, I did a demo review on Wonderful, by the way, top right of your screen if you want to check it out, is posted towards the bottom of ramp, not a very straight line. And because of that, JL can obviously go for spams, Alexi BS cave, and they don't know that Wonderful's here, but in the pro scene, starting the Opera B is pretty meta, so they probably have an idea. Now, like I said, off the back of Wonderful holding, JL is going to apply some pressure down the ramp. He is by himself technically, throws the smoke, kind of just, feeling it out, going down, getting info. What's important to note is getting this info is actually everything, because if JL clears all of banana here, and he sees nobody's here, and maybe there's somebody behind the smoke, what does he know? Well, he knows that the majority of people are probably towards A and mid, which they are. So off the back of this info you're about to watch happen, What's going to happen is, off the back of this info, the rotations are going to come in. Now, let me explain to you what happened while we were looking at JL. As JL started to push down, Ima actually backs up from Donut, because before he was playing here. And what happens is, as JL's pushing down, since this map is very push and pull, as JL's pushing down, Ima's going to back up, because he knows that since JL's pushing, the other team is going to push the other way. That's just typically how it goes. Now, they don't know JL is pushing here. To be clear, they don't know, they don't have wall hacks, they don't have radar. But because they're not there, they can't know for sure. So they just have to assume that the map control is being taken, which it is, which is why they're going now. Because if they wait any longer, even 10 seconds longer, what happens? JL clears this. He says, they're going A, and Wonderful rotates, and their round is lost. So it's all based on assumptions. They left this area of the map open, so they have to operate under the assumption that they are going to take it. And they did, so they have to go. Now, they could have heard this smoke that JL threw. It's probably something that they heard, but that smoke can be thrown from back here, as we'll see JL throw a lot later on in the game. That smoke can be thrown from anywhere, so that doesn't really mean anything. So more than likely, they're just going off of the timing of this is probably when they have it. All that's to say, as JL starts pushing down, Ima backs up into a setup with Bit. Now, the reason that he's doing this is because, like I said, they know that the A hit's probably coming, and they're going to come through mid. They have nobody mid. They can't stop him. If Ima stays Donut, which a lot of us would do, including myself, because we don't know any better, what would happen is these 4 players are going to run at Ima. Now, unless he's about to hit the clip of the year, which is not going to happen, he's going to get one and die, or maybe he'll just die. And then Bit is on an island, and they can't do anything, and their round is more than likely lost. These rotations are way too far away, and it's not to Navi's fault. Of course, they have no idea. They're getting the info that would allow them to rotate correctly, but they have the option to play a setup, which they will. Now, the setup that they're about to play is way better than the setup that they were in, which was obviously 2 1v5s. Instead, Ima's going to play this big box angle, and he's going to successfully bait for Bit. Now, the problem is, because pros are playing pros, even though the setup ends up being perfect, Ima gets 2. Pros are playing pros, and Bit will end up getting stuck up here, and they're gonna expect him here because, let's be honest, they just will, you know, like they're too smart to get caught off. And so then the 3v3 starts. All that's to say, you can understand how important this info that JL gets at the beginning of the round is, because it allows this round to be a 3v3 when it could have been Ima going down for free, leaving Bit on an island, so it could have been a 3v5. But the info that JL gets allows them to be in a better setup, which allows for a better hold. The map kind of works together. Everybody on a team is very important. That's why you need to have good communication at the top level, because otherwise people are going to be in spots that don't make sense. Because if Ima, again, not to overanalyze, but if Ima would have stayed here, it doesn't make any sense. We know they're going A. Why would you be alone? Get with a teammate. Be in a setup. So that's why you see the entire map will make sense on CT side for for the pro teams. Retake is coming in. Now, JL, of course, doesn't want to go too early. One big mistake a lot of people make at the lower levels is they just go retake because they're ready to go. But you actually have to kind of wait for your team. Of course, Alexi B is coming on the flank. JL could just peek, but why? There's no point for JL to peek. If JL goes too early, he dies, and then what? And then what? He's not going to 1v3 this retake, more than likely. So he's letting Wonderful poke with the op, look around, and in the meantime, Alexi B's creeping up. They have so much time. 40 seconds. When you have a kit, you gotta hold your nerve. 40 seconds is a long time. It's a long time to clear one site. So they're creeping in. Now they don't know Alexi B's flanking. The pressure is getting to Hunter, so he ends up peeking JL because he knows he has to. And now JL is just gonna do his job. Gonna get his one distraction kill, basically. We'll count that one as JL. Peeks out to find the last guy. He knows he doesn't have the kit. Alexi B gets on it, and ta-da, a perfect round from JL. Very smart, and honestly, I don't think I could play it better if I wanted to. That was perfect. Now, here we are going to see another round. JL throws his utility. Of course, if somebody wants to run through that Molotov, the nade will slow them. I actually explained this on my Clips channel the other day, how to throw this Molotov the way that I like to throw it, the way that Rain likes to throw it. And of course, the point being, it denies people from running up cat. If they run through the molly, they'll make a sound cue. They'll also eat the nade. It'll do a lot of damage, or they'll have to waste a smoke in order to come up cave fast, or they don't do anything, and then you just get caved, which is what happens in this instance. Then, of course, JL is going to flash the ramp. Wow, what a waste of a flash, am I right? No, because what happens? This flash is something that all pro teams throw before they peek long later in the round. Why? Well, you know that little box that everybody that in pugs wants to boost me, boost me, boost me. That's because a lot of pro operators will stay posted. And pro oppers and pro deaglers, pretty much the same thing, let's be honest. He doesn't want to get killed by somebody boosted up there. So he's going to flash and then jump across. He has no idea if somebody has a hero op or a scout or whatever, and he doesn't want to give up the opening. Because think about it, if he dies, that's just going to make the round so much easier for everybody. It's just not worth it. So he's going to, of course, cross all the T's, dot all the I's, even though they are just playing pistols. Very important to note, he does not get lazy. And of course, the flash is still really good. Another flash thrown. jL is going to be aggressive, peeking down the ramp. He's going to throw the smoke. He wants to keep that pressure on. Nico's starting to feel like, oh man, every time I want to go up ramp, I'm just getting smoked. I'm getting pushed out. What do I do? I don't know what to do. And that's deliberate, because a little insight on how people are thinking in the game. They're always keeping track of what's going on to them. Now, Nico is feeling pressured on ecos. He's feeling pressured on gun rounds. And now he's probably telling Hooksy, I don't know what to do about B, or maybe he does know. And he's saying, we should do this, right? They're coming up with problems because this is hard to deal with. Normally, what happens is this pressure comes in from mid. When we looked at the Donk demo review, what did we see? We saw that Zontix and Donk were fighting really heavy mid and jumping up and contesting down. That's normally what happens. But this time we're seeing the other perspective of things where you're coming down and be ramp heavy. And it's really hard to stop. I won't lie. Like, the solution is not as easy as you think. It's not just have somebody post on it. Anyway, here we go again. Of course, jL throwing the same utility. Jumps a little bit because he does know that, of course, he has the timing. Flashes, of course, for the peak for Ima. It's, again, the entire map works together. That smoke for door, flash for ramp, and there you go. And it's pretty much clear. He knows that. He's still waiting because he knows Nico hasn't been killed. Remember, back to the name plating thing that we talked about on Inferno. Since Nico is the person that jL's dueling, until he sees Nico in the kill feed, he's still going to be aware of this because it could just be a fake. I mean, this A hit's coming in. We can see it's not, that it's a fake. They can't, though. So, you know, Nico's lurking. But until Nico dies, jL has to be aware, because what if Nico would have hit bucket here, and then off the fake, he walks up ramp, catches the timing, gets here, all of a sudden they have it, they all rotate back, and that's something that happens all the time. It happens all the time. So jL has to be ready. He's just going to assume it's not a fake because Wonderful's still killing people. He gets here, gonna go for a nade on the smoke, spotting around, doesn't see anything. Here's the bomb going down. They know it's not a fake anymore. jL's just giving some covering spam. Pretty much just doing everything he needs to do. He's not playing overly aggressive. This isn't his site. He doesn't need to be the first one to die. He is just a supporting member of the site hold here. Again, important to note to not overstep, because I mean, yes, there is things that you want to do. You want to run through the smoke, nade the smoke, flash, run through, but no, you need to just let everybody do what they're supposed to do. You're the rotator. You're not the guy that's going to be the hero. They're still all alive. Just chill, play a little smart, and that's exactly what you see there. All right, another eco. Now, we're going to see again more of the same. This utility set, everybody's going to be using this utility set because it's so strong. The triple nade on long. Look at that. Remember what I just said. What did I just say? Nico's keeping in mind what's happening to him. He is keeping track of jL. Do you see what I see? Nico's keeping track. He says, this jL guy is doing the same thing. He starts long, or here, and then he comes long, and he's fighting me. He's fighting me. Let's nade stack him on the eco. Look at that. You're seeing exactly what I'm saying. This is it. He knows. He's like, this jL guy, we gotta stop him. A triple nade on an eco to try to shut down jL. Luckily, he wasn't there, but there was a world earlier in the game where he could have been standing there. Here we see the smoke, the flash, jL keeping that pressure on this ramp. This time distracting perfectly for his cave player to kind of take a little bit of space here. Of course, I missed a jL kill, but it wasn't anything special. Oh, but that one was another spam through the wood, this time actually hitting Nico. Now, this Molotov, of course, was thrown by Mr. jL, or Wonderful, sorry, my fault. And that forces Mono-C to peek. jL gets the kill. Then, of course, he steps in, spams Nico. It's looking good right now. Looking so good. The smoke is still up, so he's going to push his luck, walking down, looking for anybody he can. He's keeping that pressure on, even though they're playing ecos and you think, oh, he's eco hunting. No, this is more important than eco hunting. This is quite literally asserting your dominance. Remember what I said at the beginning of the review. This is the semifinals of a major. They don't want to let G2 have any room to breathe or think. The longer that they let them live in the round, the more time that they have to come up with solutions, and more importantly, the more emphasis and pressure that they keep applying to them, the more dominated they're going to start to feel. We've already seen the repercussions of this. JL aced earlier, which was a crazy swing of the momentum. They were literally up 3-0, and now it's 5-3. They've won no round since JL aced, and he's been consistently walking down the ramp over and over. We saw they nade stack this round. They're trying to stop him. They're feeling it. And then even this round, even after the nade stack and the 2 kills, the spam kill, he still walks down the ramp. He still does. And so now G2 is probably like, dude, what do we do to stop this guy? This is the timeout. This is literally what it is. I'm telling you this, and I didn't even know they called a timeout when I watched this earlier. They call a timeout. What do we do to stop this guy from going down the ramp? Oh, have m0NESY post. That's not going to work. It's not going to work. He flashes before he peeks. He's still going to get down. All right, let's see what they come up with. JL starts another round. Molotov thrown. Of course, the nade to follow up. Alexi B mollies his ramp. And then the lurk smoke. Oh my God, here we have it. We've come up with it, guys. The lurk smoke. This is exactly what we needed to do, because now JL has to switch how he was playing. Ah, this is perfect. Yes, this is the mastermind, because now he can't start long. He can't get the info, so he has to play up. But unfortunately for G2, JL was already playing here, so this doesn't actually change his game plan that much. So instead, he's going to smoke off the ramp. He comes to pillar. He knows that the spam is very likely to come in at any second here, because that's just how it works. So surely he won't continue standing here. It's a little risky. That wall is, it's right there. All right. He's just waiting it out. They obviously are going to nade, because somebody's going to be standing there. Now, when this smoke fades, he's going to flash for Wonderful to post. Wow. You see, everything kind of comes together at the pro level. This was the counter that they came up with. They didn't do anything with it this round. They wanted to see how is JL going to react, because they might not even be trying to counter JL this round, but they have to feel him out. This is a gun round. They still want to win, but in the grand scheme of things, they need to figure out how JL is going to respond to this smoke. And so if you're in G2's position, what did JL do? Too many J's and G's on this team. He smoked off the ramp. That's what he did. So they can come up with a counter off of that. Now, after the ramp smoke fades, JL flashes for Wonderful to post. Again, just important to note. And he comes here and he continues his mission. He smokes the door. Now, what is he going to do? He's going to do the same thing that he's been doing. Look at him. He's creeping up. The Molotov to counter the push this time. Now, JL knows that they're ready for this. He knows 100%. But you know what? JL doesn't care. Nico jump spots to see if JL is walking down regardless. He gets an up to the face, because that's the counter. You have to understand, this goes a level deeper. Even though Wonderful has done that, you know what's happening is JL is saying, ah, yes, come start B and hold after this. Come start here, hold. Nico's feeling the pressure. You're going to op him 100%, because he wants to fight me. They want to counter me. Come op ramp. Showing them a different look. And off the back of Nico's death, here he goes again. And there is no way they're expecting this. I would be furious. I would be absolutely molding, because look, what do you do? And then Wonderful's even there. I'm getting excited watching this back. This is the most dominant, perfect Counter-Strike that you could be playing. Everything that Navi is doing is insanely smart. Are you seeing this? G2 are making no mistakes. They're not making mistakes. They're getting dominated. Look, what do? Nico gets killed. Jump spotting, gets opt. Nico doesn't see JL. Not but 2 seconds later, does he walk down the ramp? Next is not expecting it. What do? Okay, next it dies. JL runs, but Wonderful came up close. Another, he's insane too. Wonderful is also insane. And now m0NESY comes to trade JL because he hears him running, but then Wonderful opts him. What do? This is what I'm saying. I genuinely think we are looking at the beginning of a new era. The younger players are starting to dominate the old names that used to be so good. You're seeing it. JL, Wonderful, even Bit, everybody here. Monstrous performances. Anyway, not to get too excited, what do we see? Finally, G2 have had enough. They said, you know what? We're done with this JL guy. We're just going to run a B-pop on him, put him down, kill his momentum, because it's a very real thing. Whenever you're feeling yourself in CS, you go for a lot more aggressive plays. If JL was having a bad game, I don't think he'd be walking down ramp every round. Probably not, because he needs to play his life. But he's having a good game, so he's going to continue on. Now, they want to do this B-pop. Shut him down. B-pop is in. Now, he's going to play range because, again, he's just so smart. What happened? JL threw the smoke that he's been throwing, but off the back of that timing, they pop. But he doesn't care because he's playing against Tech 9s. So as long as he keeps the range, it's very unlikely that he's going to get insta-killed. So he's going to be able to at least take 2 before he dies, because he's playing against guns that aren't that good at range. Look at, he's literally hugging. Hold on, he's literally hugging the back wall here. Hold on, I can't move. Why? Because he wants to be as far back as he can so that these Tech 9s can't do that much damage to him. He doesn't want to die. He's literally confidently holding the angle. He does not care because it's just Tech 9s. And until they flash him off or give him a reason to move, he's not going to. The flash comes in, he dodges it. Boom. Then he's going to come back for more because he's feeling himself, like I said. Except he's going to catch Hooksy, but this time I think m0NESY will shut him down. I'm pretty sure. Yep, m0NESY shut them down. But it doesn't matter because they failed their goal. Their goal was to shut JL down, but JL got 3. So now what do? You're playing against one of the smartest riflers, one of the most like calculated riflers, one of the like the smartest. Oh my god, I don't even have enough words to describe this. You don't know what to do. Utility set thrown. This time he doesn't start long because you know what JL's thinking in the back of his head right now? He's thinking, okay, he was getting ready to jump long, but he says, you know what? No. 100% this is the round they boost m0NESY. Even I didn't even see that they did, but I know that that's what he's thinking. You know why? Because think about everything that they've done before. They smoked, they nade stacked, they just did a B pop, they did the jump spot, they mollied on the put. They are very, very suffocated by JL and the way that he's playing. He knows that based on what they've done. The entire game plan for G2 has shifted because JL has been dominating them in towards banana. They haven't done anything mid. No real A pops, just the one. Nothing fast mid, nothing fast cat. No, everything is now ramp oriented. They want to shut him down. So they did everything that they could. This round, nothing thrown. No lurk smoke, no nothing. That doesn't seem normal. So he's expecting the m0NESY op boost. And is he ever right? Look at this. First round, we see this other than the round that the lurk smoke was thrown. He smokes off ramp. When you smoke ramp, what is the op going to do? Nothing. He can't do anything. So there you go. He spams, of course, even spams the boost. He's very aware. Nico's had enough. He hears JL reload. He's creeping up in the smoke as he's spamming. And Nico's had enough. He's taking matters into his own hands. That's the desperation you're seeing. You're seeing JL is forcing Nico to run through a smoke in the semifinals of a major to catch him while he's reloading. That's how we've gotten. And he does. And JL just sits him down. I don't know what else to say. You're seeing everything go. Like JL he's ready for it. And off the back of that, the smoke is still up. m0NESY can't even help him. So Nico just dies for nothing. 1-0 JL. What are you going to do? So now JL's going to shift. Nico calls that he was long. m0NESY, of course, still boosted. Wants to get posted as soon as the smoke goes. Smoke is gone. Now he's posted. Now, what do we see? Flash him off. They know he's posted. He has to be. Flashes off m0NESY. Why? Because Wonderful is about to peek. And he does. This isn't Wonderful. This is a bit, sorry. Gets crossed into this long cubby, and m0NESY can't do anything about it. Now, JL is going to get boosted into this setup with Alexi B. Alexi B dies to the ramp. Very unfortunate, but JL doesn't. Now, what's important to note here is they know Alexi B and JL both play B. Alexi B is dead. So, that means there's only one person B, right? Because JL and Alexi B are B players. Where's Wonderful? We don't know. He's not here, though. We don't see him. They just saw him cave. They know JL is cave. They know he's here. Oh no, JL dies. But remember what happened earlier. They set bid up. But it doesn't matter. There you go. G2 got one back. They had a perfect round. Na'Vi was in the best position that they could be in, and it still didn't matter. Pro CS is so much fun. I set it up like they were going to pull it back. I know. Not to get everybody's hopes up, but yeah. That's how it goes, though. That's how it goes. They set everything up perfectly, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. JL was in the best spot. Very unlucky round. Well, we finally find ourselves in the last round of the half. Very dominant CT side so far from Mr. JL. He's got 17 kills. He's been making Nico look like a noob, and I don't say that lightly. It's hard to do that. Like, you're talking about one of the best riflers of all time, and he's making him look like he's just some silver in the lobby. Regardless, he starts this last round, drops the nade, because again, like I said, the first gun round he started with this, and then he hasn't thrown it at all, and in the last round he throws it again, just because he wants to catch him off, and then he starts by throwing this smoke. He obviously knows that this smoke is making G2 feel very uncomfortable, so he's going to keep throwing it. Then, of course, after this, he's going to molly down. He doesn't want anybody to stop him because you know what he's about to do with this flash? Guess what he's about to do? It's no secret. Everybody in the server knows what JL is about to do. Everybody knows. Where is he going? Right down the ramp. Doesn't even hesitate. Now the smoke is starting to fade. So JL is aware that off the back of that timing, somebody's probably going to peek. The re-smoke comes in. JL's waiting. Nico peeks right before the smoke pops because he wants to see if anyone's walking down. And guess who's waiting for him? He's done it again. And this round is all but over. There's nothing that they could do. Let's take a look at what happened this round. They did a little bit of mid stuff here. Emo was licking his lips waiting for this day. Off the back of the round that they won at B last round, they decided to just say, you know what, let's go mid. We haven't done that all game. But they were ready. And just like that, it's going to be an 8-4 half. JL's going to patiently wait for the round to end. Doesn't do anything else. And we got on to the pistol round. Oh man, pistol round. Not too exciting, but what is important to note about JL is that he plays the opposite role on T side because this time he's going to be dueling Nico. They do that a lot at the pro level. They mirror their spots. So Nico versus JL is the fight today. And of course, the pistol round is pretty boring. JL's going to throw some utility. Not a lot of stuff to talk about here, except for JL in a 1v4. He'll get 2. They were nice shots. You'll just have to take my word for it. I don't want to keep these reviews too long, especially when there's not a lot to talk about. So we're going to go quick. Now, what do we see? JL knows. He knows that they're probably not happy about how JL is playing. So they're going to try to get those back and try to do the same thing that JL did. So what does JL do? Off those mollies, he smokes ramp. Have you ever seen a T-smoke ramp before? Because I haven't. And then after that, he confidently peeks Hooksy because he knows Hooksy plays cave. They always play the same spots. And JL's on a heater. He's literally on one of the best games of his career, 21-6. Well, 20-6. So he's like, you know what? I'm just going to peek this Hooksy guy. I'm not afraid of him. He peeks him. Bop. Whoa. Well, that's not supposed to happen. The round just turned on its head. It's a 5v4 immediately. Look at how the time is. Not but 15 seconds ago, they were running out of spawn, flipping their knives around like morons, and now Hooksy's dead, spectating the major semifinal. Oh my god. And there's the smoke. And then, of course, this is the smoke that JL threw. He wants to stop Nico. He said, no, Nico. I know you want to do the same thing. That's why Hooksy just did that. He smoked the ramp so Nico could come down. And so JL said, you know, I'm going to actually smoke ramp. You're not going to come through that because if you do, you're probably going to die. It's important to note that after the smoke fades, Nico still goes down anyway because now Nico's trying to do the same thing JL did. Now, because of the same the info, they're going to push down, B, C, it's it, and Mono C is going to be alone on an island. You kind of get the idea. I don't even need to say anything. You know what I'm drawing. Mono C is alone. Kill comes in from Wonderful. That's it. They just save. And now that's how it's going to go. That's how it's going to go. Wow. Here we go. JL is going to go A. Now, he's not the A player, so if JL is going A, you can only assume that that means it's going to be an early A hit. JL posted, waiting for some... Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. They're pushing A main because you know what's going on G2's side. Look at what's going on. Do you understand what's happening? Nico, the B player, is running through A main with Nexa. And, of course, on the T side, JL, the B player, went A. So they avoid the JL Nico fight, right? No. Nico and JL both just went A at the same time. That's because that's what their IGL's called. It's so funny that they tried to avoid each other for one round and yet they are still fighting each other on the other side of the map. Anyway, the point being, JL doesn't want to be B because Alexi B is going to go pretty much do some pressure and then they're going to end up going A. Off the back of this is a desperation round. Look, they're 4 rounds away from being eliminated from the major D2. They need to win this round. And again, you put everything on the line in matches like this. So they just grab double MP9s and they say, you know what? If anyone's holding A main this round, we're just going to kill him, trade him, get the gun, and just see what happens. And that's exactly what happens. JL goes down for free. Of course, it's a 4v4. They're still taking the duels here. And this round is too interesting. I have to watch it. So off of the back of getting double spotted, you will note that they are aggressing. They want to go quick. They need to get towards banana or take a mid. Wonderful will find Hooksy at the bottom of B, which pretty much explodes open the B site. They're running as fast as they can, leaving Ema to lurk. Why? Because he wants to cut off their rotations. Now, they know Hunter is alone because they just saw 2A and they haven't had time to cross back. Hunter is alone on an island. Nothing he can do here. And they're just putting that pressure on. They throw the smokes. They're trying to get Hunter to use anything. You have a molly, you have a smoke, a nade, doesn't matter. Throw it. We want you to throw it right now because we don't want you to have any secrets. And they're trying to bait these rotations. And, of course, Ema's waiting. They're starting to get a little worried. They're like, Hunter didn't throw anything. Maybe he had a teammate. Maybe Nico did have time to get back. He didn't, but they don't know that. We're watching on the radar so you can understand. So they start creeping back. Nico did just get that kill, which means they know Nico probably is house, which means Nexa is now alone if he's here at all. They could have gamble stacked B. So they're going to walk into the A site and get the bomb down. Now, Nexa, they will expect him here, but they're not going to 100% know where he's at. He steps out, goes down, leaving it into a 2-on-2 situation where they just save. Wait, I thought they were going to win that round. No, that's why it's so crazy. What happened? They on Navi, the reason I want to highlight this round is they freeze. They let G2 outplay themselves. They know G2 are down 5-9. They're feeling nervous, and you know they're feeling nervous because what did they just do? They just double pushed A main at the beginning of the round. And they had Nico play there. What? That doesn't make any sense. Exactly. So they know that they're feeling a little desperate. So what do? Alexi B says, wait! Just wait. Let them outplay themselves, and then we go. And then they did. The round was so easy. They just pressed the pause button and G2 started to slowly self-destruct. They walked into house. They knew somebody would be holding that. They still walked in to find him and he dies. They get the kill, but it doesn't matter because it's bad info. They go B. Hunter said they threw an exec and now they go B and it's too late. It's too late. Wow. Anyway, back to watching Mr. JL. He's going to finally go back to his normal spot. Let's see what he likes to throw. He likes to throw this molly towards the top of ramp. Wonder why he likes to do that. Doesn't want to have anybody walked out on him, does he? They are playing a full eco, of course. Going for that spam. It's important to note that that spam is, of course, going into this left side of the cubby here. If anyone's playing, they'll die. Of course, he flashes the ramp. He's very, aware. So he might go towards cave, but he's still very aware of where he's supposed to be putting pressure. So he mollies top a ramp. He flashes when it's time, but in reality, he's creeping up to help cave. Now, of course, Nico, who's sitting at the top of ramp, and Monesi this time actually, has no idea that JL's doing this. He sees a flash, he sees a molly, he still thinks somebody's probably just sitting back here holding the ramp. That's what he thinks. In reality, JL's helping take cave. All the utils coming in. They're just on eco. They're setting up for the A split. It's all perfect. The door smoke comes in. Now JL's thinking, door smoke. Probably about to come down B. So he's going to stay here. The site gets taken. He's just going to lurk, waiting for his kills. Here they come. Nico versus JL. One more time. Who's going to win it this time? Oh! This time Nico gets the better of him. Just in time to save another AK. All right. So he dies anyway. Here we go. Back against the wall, G2. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Well, we're going to go back over to JL. And we're going to see. We're going to go B. Starts with the molly ramp. He delays it a little bit, by the way, just so that it gets the most out of it. Goes for that spam. Pretty much the same this time we see. Op spotted towards mid. And, by the way, it's important to note how pros react. Now, we talked about this on Overpass. I think we talked about this on Ancient before. But when you see an op, especially Monesi, or the primary op, or I should say, somewhere, like mid or A, what should you do? Well, you should go the other site pretty quickly, because part of the reason why people don't just walk up ramp all willy-nilly is because there could be an opera here, 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 here. Like, they don't want to just walk into that op. But when the op gets spotted, oh, all of a sudden it's free game, especially since they just lost somebody. So now they can just say, you know what, let's just walk up ramp. What's the worst that's going to happen? So that's exactly what they do. JL says, you know, the opera's mid. If we're going to go, we got to go now. Smoke is in. Nico, you're in trouble. JL knows what you're doing. He plays this role. Don't forget that. Oh, but this time Nico knows. He knows. And now I think Nico's starting to feel a little confident because he just got JL to fall into his trap. And the round is all but over. What are you going to do now if you're Navi? Your best player just died. Oh my. How could we forget about Bit? He steps through the smoke. I want to just watch the entire game. It's so good, but I want to keep it limited to JL. Alexi B somehow manufactures this gap, finds A site completely open. and the retake is in. 3v4 situation. I mean, realistically, it's not like an easy round to win, but the guy that walked through cave, he's still alive. He gets the kill. 2v3 situation. Molly on the bomb. Any second, he dies throwing it, but he does get it down, which means Wonderful is alive. 1v3. Kit is down. The flash over. Nico starting to have a little bit of a resurgence later in the half. I'm watching it like I didn't watch it in the stadium. I know how it goes, but it's still an exciting game. One of the most exciting games I've seen. JL starting the round. Hold on, let's rewind it. He has a molly. Now, what does he do? He's going to molly atop a ramp. Again, reason being, he doesn't want them to start coming down ramp. JL will play very anti going down ramp. He does not want to let that happen. Nades the ramp smoke, trying to apply some pressure. Remember, JL was throwing this ramp smoke so that they couldn't come up ramp or they would feel very uncomfortable. And JL on the T side now is nading that smoke, spamming that smoke, trying to make people feel uncomfortable. Hey, by the way, he's like knocking at the door. Hey, we're outside here. We're trying to come this way. Normally, you would think, by the way, when stuff like that happens, that it's a fake, because typically you wouldn't actually mean to come B if you were making all that noise, but that's part of the mind games. You're doing what you don't think is going to happen. Now, flash for ramp gets thrown by one of the B players. I'm not sure which. They want to make it seem like, remember, by flashing the box, it means typically somebody's posting or crossing one way or the other. Remember, JL threw that flash, or I'm sorry, Bit threw that flash so that he could cross long cubby that round. And JL flashes ramp whenever Wonderful wants to post on the box, right? Or down ramp. So by flashing ramp randomly, you're making them think, is the opera here? I mean, Monacy's alive. Maybe the opera is here. And you'll see that there's immediately a shift in the plan. They end up deciding to just go through cave here. Alexi B's putting that pressure. The smoke actually getting missed there. Very unfortunate. It happened at all levels. The hit coming in. And even though they are afraid of the op, you'll see that they just go anyway. The shift in the plan, of course, being that they were all going to go ramp, but then they ended up having Alexi B put some pressure, because I'll tell you a little bit of the mindset. Not that I'm 100% right here, but my best guess being is that if they think they can come from cave, the opera will, instead of posting ramp, back up to post on cave. That way they can get up ramp so they can fight him in a worse angle. That's my best bet as to why they ended up going just instead of majority ramp, or they still went majority ramp, but instead of all ramp, they had Alexi B put cave pressure. Now he ends up dying, and the round kind of gets scary after this point. I won't lie to you. Big gets a kill, JL gets a kill. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Everybody gets a kill, and it's just Nex in a 1v3. Now, JL has pretty much done his job this round. He hasn't done anything crazy, but in this clutch situation, he's going to pair up with Wonderful, because of course, in 2v1s, it's harder to kill two people shooting at you than one person, so 2v1. Now, Nexa, of course, probably feeling extremely nervous. Of course, the Na'Vi guys are nervous too. They're going to try to stay together as much as they can. They're wrapping around, and there is no utility for the T. So the smoke on the bomb molly ramp, and Nexa's going to go for the stick, and he'll actually go down. Which means that now we are on semi-final point to go to the grand finals. And this might be the first time that some of these players have ever been in a grand final, let alone the major grand final. I mean, I'm thinking of Wonderful, of course. And here we go. Final round. They need to close out this game before things get out of hand. Now, look at the buy. It's not going to get any easier. This is the easiest time you're going to have. MP9s, Deagles, and an M4. All right. Smoke is thrown, molly thrown. Sorry, no smoke. Double mollies. Wait, hold on. Here they come. They're going for that thing again. Remember, when G2's back against the wall, they are not afraid, and they continue to push down. Oh, no. Alexi B's gone down. JL almost gets spammed. They've lost banana control for the first time this game. They're locked out. And so what are you going to do? This is exactly how G2 felt when they were playing against Na'Vi. JL has gone down to very low HP, 37, and he gets the op dropped over to him. We explained this before in a demo review. But, of course, the idea, lower player gets the op because he is only going to have time to shoot one bullet anyway, so he might as well get the op. They're going to reposition. They're going to walk mid-late. JL posting, as you might know, but you probably don't. JL used to be a primary opera back in the day. I was told this in an interview, or I learned this from an interview, I should say, a couple of weeks ago, or maybe months ago. He used to be a primary opera, so he's not uncomfortable on this. As you can see, he's holding lines, doing things as opera should. And they're going to get into a pretty interesting situation here because this is still winnable. 3v4. JL's posted. Going to let Wonderful go out. Unfortunately, things go awry, and G2 stay in this game. Now, I'm not going to say that they made any mistakes on the Na'Vi side, but I wouldn't have went through that smoke more than likely at bottom B. I think that was a little overzealous, but you can't really blame them because it is the major semifinals at the end of the day, and there's a lot on the line here. They want to win whatever they can do to get one round on the board here. And so what do we see? The A hit comes in. It's an A rush, actually. jL, of course, with the deagle. He's been feeling himself all game. I mean, to be honest, 24 and 10, I'd be doing the same thing. Coming out with the deagle, waiting for his teammates. Just get the bomb down. We need to get a bye next round. One kill comes in. He jumps through, gets stuck on somebody in the smoke. He has no way of knowing that, though. And it's a 1v4. He doesn't actually know this, but he's already dead. And he's getting spammed through the smoke. They know he went through. And he's going to look for a couple of exits now. He doesn't end up winning this clutch, so we'll skip it. Onto a full eco. Guess what we're going to do with that? We're going to skip it too because nothing exciting happens on this full eco except for the fact that they group up and then they all die together. Okay, let's take a breath here. Here we go. The timeout gets called. Okay, guys, listen. This is what they're going to be saying. We need one round, boys. We're playing so good. No need to be nervous. We're fine. Here's what we're going to do. And then LXCB says the plan. And then they're ready to go. Okay, now let's remind you of the stakes here. One round is required to close out versus G2 to go to the major final. And that's everything for everybody. So, stakes are high. We're going to go in. jL, seemingly unaffected so far by the pressure, starts off this round. And what's he going to do? Sees the smoke, mollies, needs to stay in banana. It's important to note that if this smoke gets thrown off a spawn, it's very likely that they're going to be coming down quickly. So jL cannot stay back here and let them just do what they want. He has to play in, and he will. He's going to jump in, and he's going to play on this wall. He's going to wait. Now, of course, somebody will be holding some supportive utility for him somewhere in case they come down. I suspect that's what Wonderful will be doing here after he throws this molly. And so, jL is going to creep up. The smoke will pretty much make them feel a little bit better. It's nerve-wracking. I'm putting an emphasis on this review because this isn't like a normal review. This is, I'm sitting in a smoke, and while I'm sitting here, I'm thinking. I'm looking around, and I see all the people looking at me, and then it hits you. This is the kind of moments where it hits you. Oh man, I'm really here right now. Sitting in a smoke, patiently waiting. Walks through the smoke, doesn't see anything. Mid control granted for Na'Vi. Here we go. Time for cave. Done this a million times before. Walking in, checking the right. LXCB checks the left. Nope, jL does it. Okay. Now, G2 putting that ramp pressure, just like we talked about before. Very likely they're about to come down. jL gets ready to flash. LXCB says he's got it. They're waiting. Everybody for Na'Vi waiting. And there it is. The first blood is drawn. Na'Vi does this thing, like we talked about earlier, where they wait. They get all the map control they want, and they wait for somebody on G2 to push and make a mistake to self-destruct. And while waiting, Ima steps out just a step too far, and he goes down. 4v5. Op spotted. And remember what I said, when the op gets spotted, you have to go. It's the only way. They start pressuring. Pillar molly. Hooksy forced off. jL steps out. Doesn't get the kill, but he knows that Nico stuck pillar. He's calling it by screaming it. Pillar, pillar, pillar. Spam's coming in. LXCB kills the rotator. I don't even know how. Oh my god, Hunter probably shot back out of his chair and went, what? Because that's what I would have done. And then they know, because Hunter died, that that's not Hooksy, that's not Nico. Nico stuck pillar. jL knows it. And he knows Hooksy just ran away long. He shot at him. As a matter of fact, he can see Nico's shadow right now. Wait a minute. Things are looking good. jL spams. He needs this kill desperately. Oh, he found the kill on Nico. Another battle. jL versus Nico, and he pulls it off. Okay. Deep breaths. Reload. Wait, Monacy's here. Monacy's here. That means since Nico's dead, Hunter's dead, Hooksy's still long. Okay, okay. Monacy's short, Hooksy's long. Okay, peeks out. Oh no, we lost track. We lost track. While Monacy was pulling back the op bullet, the slide, jL tries to capitalize. He doesn't think that Hooksy's playing as aggressive as he is, and he gets punished. Oh man. Oh no, the pressure. He tried to make the play. He tried to make the winning play, but it was too much. jL goes down. Alexi B steps out, finds the kill. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. Now, Monacy finds one more onto Bit. He's dancing around the pillar like a madman. Alexi B, 1 versus 2 now. Looking for him. Speak CT. Oh, finds the rotator. Gets the kill. Oh my god. Are they really about to close this out? It's Alexi B versus Monacy. All the pressure's on, and he knows exactly where Monacy is. But Monacy knows exactly where Alexi is. All the pressure bouncing back and forth, but this kid is so good. This Monacy guy has done it again. A heroic hold for Monacy. He finds 4, and he essentially got JL killed as well. We'll count that as a technical ace. Oh my god. Oh my god. We play on. It's not over until Monacy says it's over. They must feel gutted. That was their best chance to close it out. Have they thrown? Are we going to overtime? I don't know. I don't know. So what do we have to do? All right, calm everybody down. Guys, it's all right. Their money's probably not the best. You gotta cope. You gotta give them those lines. Here we go. Tech 9 buy. We got to go for something quick. Let's keep this momentum high. They're probably really nervous after that, but to be honest, they're actually probably powered up after that. So JL throws the smoke. Oh no, he's actually put out the molly. Pretty much missed it. They're running into this. They're going for a fast play. This is looking desperate. Hooksy gets one. Nico goes down, catches a dink. JL's fallen. Oh wait. Things might be getting out of hand. Bit finds one. It's a 3v3, but they only have pistols. Surely it doesn't end like this. Hooksy's not ready for it to end yet. Bomb is finally going down. The mollies have been denying him. Oh no. That's right. That is right. Round 24. How could it ever have gotten this far? 5 rounds in a row for G2? How could it have ever gotten this far? That's what they're thinking. Now, final timeout called. Now I want to really just give you some insight. I'm gonna let this final round play from start to finish so you can really feel the pressure, because it was a good one. All right, here we go. Drops the flash, or sorry, drops the smoke over. Throws a Molotov for ramp like we've been seeing. Flashing ramp. He says, I won't let you come down. Nico gets blind. Everything is coming. And we will not let anything happen. Drops the flash over. That way he can peek ramp. He's had enough. He says, Nikos, you've done too much. Hey, get the flash. The lurk smoke is actually thrown. I didn't mention that. They won't let Nico come down. They flash ramp many times. They won't let it happen. Another flash. He's trying to catch Nico. He knows Nico's powered up. He knows. Oh no, the spam. He almost catches Hooksy on the spam, but of course he can't know that. Now G2 feeling a little nervous. They do still have everybody alive. 5v5 situation. They will not let him come down ramp. That is the biggest emphasis you'll see. Look at 2 people holding. They won't let that happen. They know that's the one thing that could get out of hand. Oh no, here they come. They're coming down ramp, just like I said. And then Hooksy goes down. Jail finds a kill. Oh no, Nico's finally fallen. But Monacy's still alive. He's missed. Monacy's first miss in ages. Another one. It's all gone terribly wrong. He somehow finds it, but JL steps out and he finds him. Giga Chad jLegend has found a 2K in what's probably going to be the final round. Only one man separates JL from a grand final right now. Now, spoiler alert. That's it. And then, after this kill, they will go on to the grand finals to play FaZe. And they will win. And so tomorrow, we'll cover the grand finals, and we'll be looking at somebody on Na'Vi in the finals versus FaZe. I can't wait to see you there. And yeah, that was one of my favorite demo reviews that I've done on the channel. That was one of the most exciting games that I've watched in a long time in the stadium. It was amazing. If you enjoyed this demo review, make sure you let me know in the comments. Make sure you subscribe. We're almost at 30K. We might be there by now. And yeah, let me know what you guys want to see going forward. I love doing demo reviews. It's by far my favorite content that I've ever discovered. I love CS. That's it for me, boys. Hopefully you'll consider checking out a stream sometime. You can watch me play. And that's about it. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye. Much love.